You know, I've never really took the time to think about how grateful I am for Fortnite, and all of the work that Epic's developers put into making it as great as it is. I mean, seriously, the amount of people that work on making this game amazing, it must be massive! So, I wanted to take the time today and talk about a couple of things that I think Epic is doing really well, especially after Chapter 5 and the absolute shit show it was. So, let's get started with the mode that started it all.
Sonic's death. When jumping out of a plane, he forgot his parachute and fucking died.
Chapter 6 Season 1 is a much needed breath of fresh air for Battle Royale. I could spend a while diving into what makes this season so good and what makes Chapter 5 look like a piece of shit. Though, at the end of the year, I do have plans to make a video covering the entire chapter in 4 parts, and maybe even comparing it to Chapter 5, who knows? So I'll keep most of my thoughts just at a quick mention, so I don't end up having to tread the same ground at the end of the year. So, I should just start by saying that Chapter 5 was, in my opinion, Fortnite at its worst.
Spare change.
It was awful. It wasn't fun, it lost most of its goofy charm, especially in the first half. It had bullet travel for all of its weapons, which just made no sense for a game like Fortnite with the complicated building. It was not fun for me. It was not enjoyable for a lot of previous Fortnite fans. So I should just start by saying that literally seeing anything in the game after Chapter 5 probably would have made me go giddy. As long as you have hitscan. Speaking of which, they fully returned. Hitscan's back for this entire chapter, which is a blessing in disguise. The map had finally also regained its colorful and vibrant looks again, making it actually pleasant to look at. Like, I don't want to just chug bleach the moment I see the Chapter 5 map. God, it sucked. Until like Season 3, then it got alright with like colors and things. As well, the balance changes this season were super nice. After having barely any in almost all of Chapter 5, unless the weapon was super overpowered, it was nice to see that Epic was actually, thinking about, hey, what if we buff some of these underpowered things instead of just sending the super overpowered shit into the ground? It's a super fun way to balance it, and I really think that more games should think about buffing the weaker things to make them more on par with the stronger things. And if that doesn't work, then of course nerfing is needed. But this season really felt like Fortnite was going back to doing what it did best back in Chapter 1, 2, and 3. It was a wacky shooter with super fun gameplay. But Chapter 6 isn't the only mode, as I won't lie and say I love everything about Chapter 6. Let's be honest, there was a couple of issues in it as it went on. But even then, I mean, Epic brought back Chapter 1, Season 1, and 2 at the end with OG, which has been such a blast reliving these moments in Fortnite's history with my new and old friends. Also, just exploring the old map in 2025 is so surreal, right? Like, it's weird, but it kind of is like returning to an old school after graduating, if you know what I mean. Having the map itself stay the exact same, but you as a person changing so much in the last 5 or so years since Chapter 1's end. You can find new ways to appreciate something that you already loved. As well, I want to really quickly take a second to talk about the 2 other PvP modes in Fortnite right now. It'll be quick, but starting with Reload, it's still super fun and hectic. It really hasn't changed much from when it first launched, so whenever I don't know what to play, I'll usually hop in Reload because it's just, again, chaos, it's fun, it's crazy, and it's a great way to kind of warm up before you go and play Battle Royale, just so you have that experience fighting, with little to no punishment if you lose. But Ballistic? Oh, that's my shit. Oh, I love Ballistic so much. I'm ranked Unreal and usually top of the board in most of my games, so little flex there. FPS Fortnite somehow is just really fun. I don't get it. I wouldn't think it would work, but hey, it's fun, it's enjoyable. And it's a great way to get friends who don't care for third-person shooters on to play for hours grinding ranked. And speaking of competitive,
tell them to bring me my money.
Yeah! Although I'm not good enough to earn any of it, seeing Epic increase prize pools for cash cups is a great incentive to grind. And actually, brings us right into our next section, talking about fighting against someone who's got an unfair advantage is never a good time. Whether it be a computer detecting your movements instantly, your friend swiping a couple of hundreds from the Monopoly bank when you ain't looking, or someone using wall hacks to time their shot perfectly, I think it's fair to say you never have a good time fighting someone like that. And it gets even worse in a competitive setting when money's on the line. If you're a fan of the competitive Smash scene, you may know about Super Pichu, or Pichugate. Pretty much, to put it simply, some random guy hacked a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee and turned Pichu, an intentionally weak joke character, into an incredibly overpowered monster. And he actually managed to beat a couple of high-ranking players before being found out. And I use this as an example to show how painful it can be to lose in a tournament only because the player or players you're fighting are cheating. Imagine being the #1 Melee player, and for some reason you can't beat this random guy who's just shown up a year ago because he's using unfair tactics. And I bring this up because Fortnite had a really bad cheating problem for a very long time. Back in Chapter 1 and early Chapter 2, it was a nightmare. Sometimes you'd even go into pubs and find cheaters. It was that annoying. Epic did the best they did to contain them, and they did get better over time, but for some reason, Chapter 5 was extremely annoying to play in a competitive environment. For some reason, a bunch of cheaters came back during Chapter 5, and trying to play a zero build tourney without soft aim would leave you dead in the ground faster than you can say hello. Okay, he's already dead. But Epic has finally decided to take a stand against cheaters. Unfortunately, cash cups for zero build are seemingly gone thanks to these issues, as it's not easy but possible to beat someone hacking in builds. But when you're stuck with no way to defend yourself besides aim dueling a robot with perfect accuracy, you're gonna lose. That's just the sad truth. But with all of this being said, Epic is doing a lot of amazing things to combat cheaters. I think by far the biggest one is actually taking legal action.
FBI, open up!
And there have already been 2 people who've been harassed by Epic's legal team. And I love to see this. It's so funny. Making cheaters pay for trying to scam Epic and pro players out of money that they rightfully deserve is amazing. As well, sending any money they did earn to charity is an amazing step that shows good faith, and that they're not doing this to save their money, but rather help the competitive community grow. As well, there have been other things like people who play with cheaters in team modes getting a 28-day comp ban at minimum, giving an extra day between the first and second round of tournaments to go back and check replays for any suspected cheaters. Placing all cash prizes in the final or higher tiers of events, to require at least 1 round of qualification, so hey, if they cheat in that first round, get them out, and maybe even give them a little chat about, hey, yo, you can't be cheating on Fortnite, buddy. $10,000 to charity. Go fuck yourself. And the biggest one, not being able to play cash tournaments unless you are both account level 350 and you're required to play 14 other tournaments in the last 180 days. These changes are all incredible for improving the health and lifespan of the competitive community. And I really hope after everything is said and done, we can possibly see the return of zero build cash cups. Though, unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But for what it's worth, all of these changes have done nothing but improve the game, so it's a big win to see Epic go this far so fast. And here's to hoping they keep on making the right choices to get players playing on their nicest behavior, like a kid in December. And speaking of December, I think it's time we move on to talking about the recent Fortnitemares and Winterfest, because these were just flat out incredible.
O cholera, czy to Freddy Fazbear? Oh.
After the absolute stinker that was Chapter 5's Winterfest,
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
there was a really sour taste in my mouth that I was super worried that Epic had just lost vision of what made Fortnite so special. But luckily, it seems like I had it all wrong. After this year's Winterfest and Fortnitemares, I think it's safe to say Epic has absolutely cooked with these recent events, including everything we used to get and then some. Map changes, free cosmetics, story quests, new and returning weapons, and amazing vibes that feel so cozy or spooky depending on what Epic was aiming for. You can tell the devs worked so hard to make this some of the best holiday events in Fortnite's history. And while I may prefer Fortnitemares over Winterfest, I gotta say, this year's were both super close in terms of quality and content. But I also really quickly wanted to take some time before wrapping up the video to mention the beauty of Fortnite's collabs. With literally anything on the planet, RoboCop, Godzilla, Batman, Skibidi Toilet, and Hatsune motherfucking Miku
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Accident.
are just a few of the goofy collabs that we've seen in Fortnite. And I'm honestly all here for it. This game is the best when it's goofy, when it's wacky, when it has crazy shit in it. And while it was annoying during seasons like Chapter 2, Season 5, where the content of the season was more skins than actual weapons and items, I think Epic in this season has finally created that near perfect balance between collaborations and original Fortnite content for Chapter 6 Season 1. And I also just want to mention how funny it is that these random images of like Godzilla, Spider-Man, Peter Griffin, Goku, and other random characters from like 2018 are all now actually like real, and if not real yet, there's like an 80% chance that they will be someday, unless you're a FNAF fan. Sorry guys, I don't make the rules, I just gotta kinda enforce them.
Fuck you!
But as far as I know, besides FNAF, there's a high chance we'll see them in Fortnite soon enough. And I can't think of a better way of ending this little journey here. Don't get me wrong, Epic makes mistakes. And trust me, I'll always call out their bullshit when it comes up. But I figured after the never-ending nightmare that was Chapter 5, it would only be right to give Chapter 6 Season 1 all of the praise that it rightfully deserved. And I'm really happy to say that it's time we hit another prime in Fortnite's history, as we move into Chapter 6 Season 2. Just please add JoJo's Epic, I beg of you! Oh my god! Hey guys, this is Landon off the script here. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video all the way through and through. I know this is a shorter one than usual, and trust me, I've got more stuff coming that's going to be a bit longer, like 20-30 minutes. But I just want to go ahead and say thank you for watching. If you want to support me, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Let me know how I can improve my videos. As well, I would love to hear what you guys are thankful for in Fortnite. What do you guys think? Oh, Epic's doing great. Or what do you think Epic's doing poorly? Again, I already said Chapter 6 Season 1 did have issues that I will talk about later at the end of the year. But I just wanted to take today to just kind of relax, as it's the second day after the season came out, and I think they deserve as much praise as I can possibly give them. Speaking of which, from what little that I have played so far, Chapter 6 Season 2 seems like a really fun season. Again, I didn't play much, so my opinion isn't fully formed yet, but from what I did play, it's probably like an 8 out of 10 right now. It just really depends what Epic adds in the updates, which, you know, they always seem to cook with. So, until next time folks, my name is Landon, and I've done all my stuff for today. I hope you all enjoyed watching as much as I did making, and I'll be sure to see you all next time. Peace out everybody, have a great night, and remember, always be yourself. Also use code LANDDUSTUFF in the Fortnite item shop when you're buying the Battle Pass, just saying guys, bye!